Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at, well, some new Rapid Strike Pokemon. Now look, I just showed you some Single Strike Pokemon, and I am hyped about them. I've been Team Rapid Strike up to now. Let's see if we can go, well, a little bit further with that. We've got ourselves a new Rillaboom that we need to be having a little bit of a look at. And we've got a new Malamar. Yeah, they're apparently Rapid Strike Pokemon now. Although, to be fair, we have already seen the Rillaboom as a Rapid Strike Pokemon. So that's quite nice. So we might as well start off with Rillaboom, because you've got to love that monkey. What we've got here, and our translations, I should mention, do come from the lovely Antoine Boulet. You probably knew that by now. We got 180 HP, which even for a Stage 2 Pokemon is very high. Rillaboom does tend to have high HP, but still, this is really nice. We've got a retreat cost of 3, which is super interesting, because it means you actually won't get free retreat with Tower of Water. Tower of Water, of course, reduces your retreat cost by 2 if you are a Rapid Strike Pokemon. And this is either the first or one of the first Pokemon we've actually seen that is both Rapid Strike and has a retreat cost of 3 or more, which is a little bit sad. As for the weakness to fire, it's not the issue it used to be. Welder is rotating out. Really, it depends to be seen how good Victini V Max is going to be without Welder. I still think there's a pretty good chance, but this is something we're going to have to watch. Victini could be an issue. As for being a grass Pokemon, you're not really hitting much relevant for weakness, and I'm sorry about that. But you do have access to Turffield Stadium to search out your evolutions, so it ain't too bad. And remember, you are a Rapid Strike Pokemon, so you've got all the advantages that come with that. So the first attack here, what we've got is Grass Colorless Energy, 60 damage, heal 30. It's not that great if we're honest. If we really sit down and are honest with ourselves, nah. And the other thing is, if we go to Rapid Strike Energy, which is of course one of the best tricks for Rapid Strike Pokemon, what we see here is basically a double energy for Rapid Strike Pokemon. But remember, it only pays water and fighting. So even though you've got a 2 energy attack on a Rapid Strike Pokemon, you can't pay it with Rapid Strike Energy. And that is a little bit sad, quite frankly. If you can't use Rapid Strike Energy, you're only doing 60 damage. I mean, the healing 30 is nice, but bearing in mind, we don't have the Shaman from Lost Thunder anymore. We don't have Life Forest Prism Star anymore. So the grass healing options we used to have a little while ago are kind of gone. And I don't think this is going to be some great healing deck. The good news is we have a better attack, free energy, 120. You may discard any number of energy cards, and it is cards, not individual energy, attached to your Pokemon in play. If you do, this attack does 30 more damage for each card discarded in this way. So this can add up very, very quickly. But again, we need to look at Rapid Strike Energy and go, what? Because you know what? Rapid Strike Energy is not working here as much as we might like, and that makes me a little bit sad. What we've basically got here is 2 grass, 1 colorless, which means Rapid Strike Energy will only pay the colorless. If it was grass double colorless, then it would be grass Rapid Strike Energy. Now we're talking, but it's not, so we're not. And the attack cost here is annoying. Also, you do 30 damage for each card discarded, not for each energy, so you cannot get rid of a Rapid Strike Energy and do 60. And basically, where I'm going with this is, I don't love it as a Rapid Strike Pokemon. Now, I like Mustard. Remember, Mustard lets you play it from the discard as essentially a basic Pokemon and draw 5 cards if it is the only card in your hand, and that's cool. But outside of that, I don't think it works well with Rapid Strike Energy. It doesn't work with Tower of Waters. I don't like it as a Rapid Strike Pokemon. But I do kind of like it with Cherrim. Now, we are talking about a Stage 1 and a Stage 2, so you got to bear that in mind. But Cherrim lets you attach as much grass energy during your turn as you like, which means you can attach all the extra energy to Rillaboom, and then of course you can have lots and lots and lots and lots of energy on the field, which you then discard to do extra energy using Rillaboom, and I can see an argument here. But just to be perfectly clear, I think this is an underwhelming card. I think, although it's technically a Rapid Strike Pokemon, I don't really see why I want to play it in a Rapid Strike deck. And I don't think it's particularly good enough with Cherrim because it's a Stage 2. I think playing it in a Cherrim deck rather than a Rapid Strike deck is the way to go. But honestly, I'm giving it 3 Wossies, and it is a very, very generous 3 Wossies. I can see making a Rogue deck with it. I'm just not convinced it's going to be a particularly good Rogue deck. But maybe this video can be saved by Malamar. Malamar comes along with 120 HP, which is alright. It's okay. But you know what? There's a lot of Pokemon that naturally do 120, so actually it's not good enough. We got that same awkward retreat cost of 3, which means Tower of Waters will not give free retreat, so cheers for that. We do have a resistance to fighting, which is quite nice. But having said that, if you look at something like Rapid Strike Urshifu, they will do 150. Minus resistance is 120, and they're still getting a KO. Oh. Yeah, that's why 130 would have been huge. And then you got a weakness to darkness. The good news is Spiritomb will be rotating out, which would have been a real issue for this card. You're still hit by Eternatus, but come on. If Eternatus isn't hitting 120 naturally, that's not a deck you need to worry about. So I'm not loving the stats, although to be fair, being a psychic Pokemon means horror energy, but it also means weakness against stuff like Urshifu, so it is nice to be a psychic Pokemon at the moment. It seems like it's going to be a really good weakness to hit. But then we've got 1 psychic energy, and what you do is reveal any number of Rapid Strike cards in your hand, and the attack does 40 damage for each card revealed. And then you shuffle the cards back into your deck. So that's your Rapid Strike supporters, your Rapid Strike energy, stadiums, whatever it might be. And then they all go back into your deck to be used again. And on the one hand, I love this, and on the other hand, I really dislike this quite intensely. Because look, you can get up to decent damage. So let's say, for argument's sake, you show 4 cards. Well, that 4 cards means you're doing 160, and double with weakness is 320. You will annoyingly be 10 damage short of Rapid Strike Urshifu, but that's nothing that a Galarian Zigzagoon couldn't fix. But the problem is, all of these cards are going back into your deck, which means that your hand size is getting lower and lower and lower, which means that your opponent can punish you with hand disruption cards, or you just don't have those cards available. Because what happens if you need to do an extra 40 damage, so you put Corinna back into your deck? Well, now all of a sudden, you don't have a supporter to use for next turn. Now, Corinna was not some random example, of course. Corinna is a very important card here. Or Corinna's Focus, I believe it's actually called. Because, of course, that lets you draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. So the theory here is that you basically put a bunch of Rapid Strike cards back into your deck so that you can then use Corinna's Focus for maximum use the following turn. But like I've said, if your opponent's got any card that can discard a card from your hand, and there are a bunch of them out there, you know, Jesse and James is still a card that sees a bit of play here and there. It's popular in some control decks. Then all of a sudden, you're out of luck. And that's kind of a problem with this. On the one hand, I love that you can do a whole bunch of damage, and that makes me really happy. On the other hand, in order to do that damage, you've got to basically wreck your hand size. And I don't think I need to tell you that voluntarily wrecking your hand size is not particularly something you want to do very often. So, honestly, again, I'm giving this 3 Wossies, and again, I don't feel great. I've been Team Rapid Strike since we first saw these cards, but I showed you those great single strike Pokemon, and now these Rapid Strike Pokemon we're looking at today, they ain't holding up, ladies and gentlemen. they are not holding up. But I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.